how I am teaching my 11-year-old daughter Emery copywriting every single day as part of her new homeschooling daily routine. michaelmclean.coach. I have a story to share with you today about what is happening with our family now that we've arrived in the greatest country in the world, the state of Florida, I call it the land of the free here in Naples. What a beautiful, beautiful city to raise a family, to spend half our year. We came here 6 days ago. I couldn't be more grateful to be in the greatest country in the world. This place, this gated community we're in this city is like abundance personified. My mentality, everything changes when I'm here. I get fitter, I get stronger, I make more money, I write better, you name it. This is the land of opportunity, and I take full advantage of it. I don't take any of this for granted. So I want to share with you a story, what's happened in the last week with my 11-year-old daughter. Emery, when we were flying here, we're here until June 1st, she said to me, she had a dog walking company here last year where she had 3 different clients. She did it by delivering flyers to all these houses. We'd get out here and we delivered 100 flyers 3 different times, and she ended up with 3 paying clients. That's a decent return, 3%. She's learning that with direct response marketing, anywhere from 1 to 5%, 5% being a home run, and it's all about failure, learning. It's all about failing as fast as you can, like my business partner Marc Andre would say. So she got a 3% return on her flyers last year. So she comes back here the other day and she's got 3 dog walkers from last year, but we don't know whether they want to have her walk the dog or not. So we're on the plane and she's sitting beside me and she says, "Daddy, I want to launch my dog walking program as soon as we get there." I mean, she likes to do things fast. And I said to her, okay, I said, "How many people do you have on your email list?" And she said, good morning. She said, "I have 6 people. I have the 6 people on my list that raised their hand last year that got a flyer." She said 3 of them were clients and 3 of them were just prospects. So an email list of 6 people. And I said, okay, that's your gold right there. That's your acres of diamonds. And she said, okay, should we go and see the people? And I said, not yet. I said, I want you to write a personal email to all 6 of those people. And she can do it at that number, right? She can write 6 emails that you can tell she wrote them to the person. So I make her do the copywriting. I give her some hints and tips, but I make her do it. And this is a non-tech kid. I mean, she's not on screens. She's a pen and paper person. So she takes out her yellow, good morning. She takes out her yellow legal pad and she cursive writes, it's part of her homeschooling, and she writes the body of the main email. She's got to do it all. She's got to do the opening, she's got to do the benefits, she's got to do the story, she's got to do the call to action, and she writes this out on a yellow legal pad in cursive. That's part of her homeschooling. So once she's got this done, I take a peek at it and I'm like, great job. Here's a couple of ideas. She goes back, rewrites it again. And then after she does that a couple times, she sits down at the MacBook and she sets the timer, and I'm like, okay, you got to write this email in 30 minutes, just like I do. I'm 10 minutes, but she's 30. So she sits down and she writes these 6 emails, and they're basically the same, but she puts something in there personal on each one, plus their name. Well, she sends these emails at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is a great time for residents. So all of a sudden, okay, the results of this over 2 days, email usually takes 2 days. Same with direct mail in a mailbox, it can take up to a week. She gets 2 of the 3 clients from last year to immediately take her up on her dog walking for this year. And I'm like, wow, 2 out of 3, awesome. The other person isn't living here anymore, so she's got 2 clients. But here's the thing, 2 of the other 3, the people that raised their hand last year when she sent them a flyer, dropped off a flyer, 2 of those 3 now want to do it. They're like, okay, Emery, we didn't do it last year, but we'd love to save time. And by the way, I'm gonna put a copy of my daughter's flyer that she created this year into the inaugural, the maiden voyage of my new print newsletter, Michael McLean's Badass Copy. The first print newsletter is coming out in February. I'm going to include a copy of the flyer that Emery created and that she's handing out. 50 per day this year. She's starting tomorrow, 50. So to make a short story long, the kid, she's now got 4 clients instead of 3, all because of a 6-person email. Could you imagine? I have guys that are like, oh, I only have 6, I only have 70 people on an email list. I only have 100 people on my email list, or I only have 200 clients on my newsletter list. And I'm like, here's an 11-year-old kid who sent 6 emails to her 6 prospects and clients, and now she's like almost doubled her business with 4 people this year. Now, after we hand out 50 of these flyers a day, so 50 on Tuesday, 50 on Wednesday, 50 on Thursday, all door to door, belly to belly, toe to toe, nothing fancy. I want her to get rejection. I want her to deal with failure. I want her to build this little company with shoe leather. But I'm going to include this flyer because she changed it this year. I said, your headline has to be a massive benefit. What are you really selling? She said, well, I'm selling dog walking. And I said, not really. You're not really in the dog walking business. So I let her think about that for a while. And then I was sitting out by the pool and she came out with some ideas. She said, well, I'm in the such and such business and all this kind of stuff. I said, what's the real benefit when somebody hires you to walk their dog? And finally, she's very clever. She said, I save them time. Boom. There's the copywriting bait. There's the hook that the fish will take. I said, okay, so instead of your headline being Emery's dog walking company, that's an image advertising. That's the same as, Boston Pizza or, Nike or whatever. It doesn't really say anything but the company and what you do. So I said, how about a headline? It's 80, 90 cents of your dollar is your headline. You get that right and you got a chance. And she said, okay. So she comes back and she writes out 5 or 6 more of these headlines on a pad of paper. And what she finally decided is how I can save you 2 to 3 hours per week by walking your best friend. Something along those lines. And I'm like, great job with the gun to your head headline. So now she's changed the flyer to something that's about them. What's in it for them? Person who hires her, they're watching TV or they're in their house, they got home from a long day. Some days they don't want to take their dog for a walk. It happens. And she's there and she's like, hey, let me save you 1, 2, 3 hours a week, and I'll do it by walking your dog for you. And literally, she takes these dogs on these 35-minute walks. She's literally buying these people 35 minutes at a time. So that's how much she's progressed as a copywriter since last year. And this is the kind of stuff I'm going to be sharing in my print newsletter, Badass Copy, every damn month. I'm not going to be sharing just what Gary Halbert did and what Eugene Schwartz did and what, David Ogilvy did and the Madman and all that stuff. I'm also going to be sharing with you all the copywriting I'm doing in my world. See, here's the thing. If you invest in becoming a world-class copywriter over the next handful of years, where you can literally sell your business, you could semi-retire, you could move to a different state, move to a different country, do whatever the hell you want to do. And literally you can have a side hustle of copywriting where anytime you have a big expense, maybe you want to put in a home gym, maybe you want to fix the pool, maybe you want a new kitchen, maybe you want to help your grandkids out with college, all you got to do is sit down and write yourself that thing. And you literally send the bill to your audience. You literally send the invoice to your audience. Do you think that would be something very powerful when you never have to touch your investments, you never have to touch your nest egg, the economy falls apart, doesn't matter, you still have the same skill? Okay, we get into a recession or things collapse and we get into a depression 2.0, wouldn't affect you. You'd just be sitting down every day and writing for money. So this is personal sovereignty. Like if personal sovereignty is your North Star like me, it's not about money for me. It's always been about freedom. It's always been about money giving me autonomy and personal sovereignty. So if you and I share the same principle that it's all about personal sovereignty, well, guess what? The reason I'm walking here and talking to you at, middle of the morning in a different country, in the city that we handpicked, I can see our home from here, and my kid being homeschooled and all this other stuff is because of my copywriting ability. My ability to literally sit down and turn words into money. Nothing loftier than that. I'm not saving the planet. I'm not, saving the northern Canadian baby seals. I'm not going to get any awards or humanitarian awards for this. I'm just a guy who wants to be free. I'm just a guy who wants autonomy. And this is how I'm doing it. Now, the story I told you about Emery, think about that for a second. Okay, you want to leave a legacy, right? Part of personal sovereignty is legacy. You want to be remembered after you're gone. Well, I've said many times, I'm not leaving my kid jack shit for money. Krista and I, we're going to enjoy our money and we're going to spend our money and we're going to invest our money, but I ain't going to cripple my kid by leaving her, millions of dollars. To hell with that. That's what the 99% want to do. I'm giving her the ultimate gift. I'm not leaving her money. I'm leaving her a toolbox of skills. And what's the number one skill I'm going to leave this 11-year-old? The ability to sell. But not just the ability to knock on doors and grind it out. Anybody can do that. Any tomato can do that. I'm talking about the skill to sit down at your MacBook and sell, to sit down by the pool and sell, to be on a European vacation and sit down and sell. That's a totally different world where you can work an hour or two a day, be semi-retired, and you can be making yourself $5,000, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 a month if you want. Literally words into money. So this is why it's not about dog walking. It's not about lemonade stands for me. It's about me leaving my kid with the tools that no matter what happens in this crazy world, when it becomes hers and long after I'm gone, is she'll have the ability, okay, are you with me here? She'll have the ability to be literally dropped out of a plane with zero dollars, zero advantages, zero whatever it is, and she could be up and running within a day or two. That's what I'm going to be giving my daughter. And I hope that down the road, that's what she gives her children. Do you see how copywriting is legacy building? Like, not only can you improve your copywriting chops, not only can you cut your copywriting teeth like I've been doing for the last 2 decades, but you'll be able to share it. Share what you're learning with your queen. Share what you're learning with your children, your teenagers, and your grandchildren. Man, oh man, that's what my number one priority is teaching my kid how to sell through words. And then you know what? That's better than any college or university education or any private school or any of that other horse shit. It's just like, man, oh man, I'm not leaving you stuff. I'm not raising a fucking poodle. I'm raising a young entrepreneur. I'm raising an alpha female. I'm raising a kid who's going to be able to create personal sovereignty in her own life by sitting down and writing for money. If that doesn't sell you on what's going to be in these print newsletters, you're hopeless. You are hopeless. And one of the big bonuses is I'm going to be including the Doberman Dan presentation he did behind closed doors to my heavyweight champion mastermind. That in itself is worth tens of thousands of dollars. The link is below to subscribe. It's expensive on purpose. I don't want any lightweights. I don't want any people that are, learning copywriting in the wrong library on anti-social media. I'm not some turd who's teaching, what I haven't accomplished. The reason I live life and do business on my own terms the last 22 years is because I taught myself how to write. I taught myself copywriting, how to turn words into money. This video is words into money. My daily emails are words into money. My books are words into money. My newsletters are words into money. This new badass copy newsletter, that's words into money. If I show up and do the work, I get paid. So there's only 24 hours left for you to get off the fence and decide in a brand new year, is this the skill that I want to learn? Is there any other skill that could be more valuable for you, your queen, your kids, your grandkids, than the ability for you to write personal sovereignty, to write your freedom, to write your autonomy? And when you're ready to walk away from it all, you take this skill with you. Anywhere you go, you've got this skill. Anywhere you go, you can make money with words. Badasscopy.coach. The link is below, and you have less than 24 hours before I wrap this up. I'm done yammering on about this. If I can't get you over the fence with this, then there's no hope. So you got to make a decision. What is the skill you're going to develop this year? And is it a skill that's going to feed your family for the rest of your days and build a legacy so that when you're long gone, your kids and your grandkids have the ability to build their own badass world, for them to have personal sovereignty and control regardless of what's happening in the world. 2 words that change my life, 2 words that can change your life. Be relentless.